Back to reality, my friends. This is what we're used to. And I'm smiling, but it's only because I don't want to cry. Today was straight up ugly. The game, the loss, the weather, the special teams, the whole damn thing.
I take ownership for not being able to put points on the board. It all starts with me and ends with me.
But this Philadelphia loss is right there, in my opinion, because they had no business losing this ball game at all. And we gave them grace the entire season because of the talent. When you talk about the inefficiencies on the offensive side, we all felt like, well, they can get it right.
The Philadelphia Eagles season is officially cooked, done, finished, and now all eyes are locked on Jalen Hurts. He's not blowing up timelines because of what happened on the field during that shocking 23-19 playoff loss to the San Francisco 49ers. It's not about the 2 interceptions. It's not even about the defending Super Bowl champs getting embarrassed in their own building. No, the internet is melting down over what Hurts said after the damage was already done. And this moment deserves a deep dive, because what's unfolding right now goes way beyond a routine post-game press conference. This isn't just about football. It's about power, blame, and who's really being protected behind closed doors. Let's be clear.
It was lifeless. It was gutless. It was heartless. It was just less, everything.
I think it's tough to single out one individual, especially in a moment like this. We all got to improve, and that's how I look at everything that we go through.
The Philadelphia Eagles just suffered one of the most brutal, confidence-shattering playoff losses in recent memory. Sit with that for a second. A team that was supposed to be a title favorite, playing at home, got handled by a San Francisco squad that looked held together by hope and spare parts. No Nick Bosa, no Fred Warner, no George Kittle, who went down early with a serious injury. The 49ers were running on fumes, practice squad guys, backups, players most fans couldn't name, and yet they still controlled the game from start to finish. And here's where it gets wild. Eric Kendricks, yes, that Eric Kendricks, a 33-year-old linebacker many had written off, stepped up and made the season-ending play. 10 tackles, a clutch pass breakup on the final snap. A former Cowboys cast-off just slammed the door on Philadelphia's entire season. That's the backdrop. That's why this press conference hit like a thunderclap. Cameras flashing, reporters circling. Everyone expected fire, frustration, accountability, maybe even some tension aimed at the people who actually let this thing spiral. Instead,
And it's hard to explain why. If they didn't have any talent, that's the easy answer. They don't have talent.
The 49ers won this game with their 5th, 6th, and 7th linebackers on the roster. The 49ers won this game and outgained Philadelphia 361-307 without Nick Bosa, without Fred Warner, without Brandon Ayuk. Screw you.
49ers literally pulled him off his couch and said, we got nothing. We got nothing. Today, Eric Kendricks had 10 tackles and looked like Fred Warner to me.
Jalen Hurts stood there calm, composed, and took all the blame. On the surface, it sounds noble. Sounds like leadership. The franchise quarterback shielding his teammates, absorbing the heat, playing the role of the responsible adult. But here's the twist. And this is where things get uncomfortable. While Hurts is falling on the sword, protecting everyone around him, the real issues in Philadelphia are quietly being brushed aside like dirt swept under a rug. And that silence, that's what has people talking the loudest right now. Let's stop dancing around it. Kevin Ullo, the offensive coordinator, just put together one of the weakest playoff game plans anyone's seen in years. 19 points. 19. And that was against a defense missing multiple All-Pros. That's not bad luck. That's failure. 119 yards in an entire half of playoff football. Read that again. With Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, and Dallas Goedert all on the field at the same time. That roster should scare defenses. Instead, it looks stuck in neutral. So when reporters finally asked Jalen Hurts directly about Ullo, about whether that relationship even has a future, Hurts shut it down. No critique, no hint of concern, nothing. And that's where this gets messy. You're standing there taking all the blame, falling on the sword, but you can't even acknowledge the coordinator running an offense so basic that defenses were openly laughing about it.
For not being able to put points on the board. It all starts with me and ends with me.
The Eagles scored 19 points with the NFL's most expensive offense. They mustered 119 yards total in the second half.
I think it's tough to single out one individual, especially in a moment like this. We all got to improve, and that's how I look at everything that we go through.
We heard a lot of guys after they played the Philadelphia Eagles say, it's right there in front of you.
And as part of them self-cannibalizing, you had Nick Sirianni arguing with A.J. Brown on the sideline. A.J. Brown had a big drop. Saquon Barkley had a big drop. Devontae Smith had a big drop. Massive, massive moments in that game.
Players from multiple teams said it all season. It's right there, predictable, elementary. That wasn't trash talk, that was scouting. This isn't a Hurts execution issue. This is a design problem. That's coaching, that's scheme. But Hurts won't touch it. He keeps protecting everyone, absorbing the heat, being the loyal soldier. And yeah, part of that deserves respect. He's trying to hold the locker room together. He's trying to stop the whole thing from blowing up in public. But the other part, the part that watched this game, that part is yelling because while Hurts plays diplomat at the podium, the real dysfunction in Philadelphia is rotting quietly. Now, let's talk about A.J. Brown, because this didn't come out of nowhere. The sideline blow-ups with the head coach, the visible frustration, the dropped passes at the worst possible moments. This tension has been brewing all season. They're not in sync. The franchise quarterback and the top receiver don't look happy together, and everyone's seen it. Body language, complaints, missed connections. And when the season was on the line, 3rd and 5, the ball hit Brown right in the hands and hit the turf instead. Later, another critical moment. 4th quarter, Devonta Smith, wide open, ball in both hands, dropped. These weren't Hurts mistakes. These were elite talents failing to execute when it mattered most. These were Pro Bowl receivers, elite talent, and they flat out didn't make plays when it mattered most. And yet, Jalen Hurts stepped up and took all the blame, every bit of it.
Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown have clashed for several years. They had an off-the-field incident and personal clash that for a while I thought they had resolved, but it's one that I don't know if you ever quite get over it. I think they just don't like each other. I don't think they hate each other. I just think they don't like each other. AJ has pouted, complained, all but mutinied all year long, all but rebelled. It's always over targets and catches and targets and catches and targets, catches.
We just didn't make the plays. That was it. No details, no names, no accountability, just full body coverage for everyone involved. And that's what's driving people insane right now. Is Hurts being the ultimate teammate, or is he quietly enabling a toxic culture that keeps repeating itself? Because CBS analyst Jonathan Jones said something after the game that should have made every Eagles fan feel sick. Read between the lines. What we saw was already bad. Sideline arguments, dropped passes, stiff body language, visible tension. But what we didn't see, that's the scary part. This is the same roster that won a Super Bowl last season with Kellen Moore calling plays. Same weapons, same talent, different coordinator, totally different results. That's not coincidence. So why isn't it working now? That's the question, and it's the one Hurts refuses to answer. Watch that press conference closely. Every deflection, every vague response, every time he shields someone else, it forces you to ask what he's really trying to do here. Stat line check. Hurts threw for 168 yards, went 20 for 35. The interceptions, those weren't reckless. Both were strong defensive plays by Quinnen Williams and Donovan Mitchell. Not panic throws, not brain-dead decisions. Meanwhile, the 49ers turned the ball over twice and still walked out winners. Why? Because they have Kyle Shanahan. They have structure, a system, coaching that adjusts in real time. So, what do the Eagles have? Talent that doesn't execute, receivers dropping balls, a basic offensive scheme, and a quarterback who refuses to call anyone out. Hurts even said it himself. Everything was there. Home field, better roster on paper, rest advantage, momentum, and they still blew it. Former two-time Super Bowl champ Bryant McFadden nailed it perfectly. This wasn't about effort, this was about getting outcoached. Shanahan ran circles around Nick Sirianni, a trick play, Jawan Jennings throwing a touchdown to Christian McCaffrey. That one call flipped the game.
But they did not keep their issues in-house. It spilled out for everyone to see. And there was a lot of dirty laundry that was out there. And just imagine of what we heard and what we saw this season. Imagine what we didn't hear and what we didn't see.
Right.
If that's what came out onto Broad Street. But this is a team that offensively did what they did last season, did what they did to a proud Kansas City Chiefs defense there in the Superdome. And so you do have to wonder when they did it with Kellen Moore, who's now the New Orleans Saints head coach, why isn't it working with Kevin Patullo?
Brock Purdy threw 2 interceptions in this game. 2 great plays made by the first-team All-Pro in Quinyon Mitchell. But the Eagles only scored 3 points off those 2 turnovers. Christian McCaffrey had over 100 yards.
Great coaches adjust. Great coaches adapt. Great coaches put players in position to win. What did Kevin Pito do? He ran the same predictable offense that's been failing for months. And once again, Jalen Hurts stood there and protected him, protected everyone, while the problems stayed exactly where they are. So now it's not on any one person. The offensive coordinator who can't scheme receivers open, not responsible. The wideouts dropping clutch passes, not responsible. The head coach getting into it with his star receiver on national TV, not responsible. It's everyone's fault, which really means it's nobody's fault. And that is the core issue with what Jalen Hurts is doing here. That's why this moment has gone viral. That's why fans are split straight down the middle. On one side, people are saying this is leadership. A quarterback protecting his teammates, keeping drama behind closed doors, trying to stop the full meltdown that feels inevitable. That argument makes sense. But on the other side, people are shouting that this is enabling dysfunction, that this is how broken systems survive. Problems get buried instead of fixed. Accountability disappears. And honestly, both sides have a point. Here's what we know for sure. The Eagles' offense was broken all season. The passing concepts were basic, predictable, easy to defend. This didn't pop up overnight. The relationship between Hurts and A.J. Brown is clearly fractured. The coaching staff is divided. Kevin Pito is running a system that doesn't fit this roster. And yet Hurts stood at that podium and said, "It's all on me." That sounds noble, but is it actually a problem? When Jonathan Jones called this one of Kyle Shanahan's best coaching jobs, he said something that hit hard, not because of rings, but because of execution, maximizing limited talent, getting practice squad guys to play clean football, turning scraps into production. That's coaching. The Eagles had everything: talent, home field, rest, star power, and still failed. And their quarterback won't point to the real cracks. Winning once is hard. Repeating is harder. But you know what makes it nearly impossible? Refusing to confront the real issues, avoiding tough conversations, letting accountability slide. The 49ers lost George Kittle in the first half. Season-ending injury, their best weapon gone. And afterward, Shanahan said they just found a way. Backups, street signings, guys nobody believed in. Meanwhile, the Eagles couldn't find answers with Pro Bowlers. That's not talent, that's coaching, that's culture. And now, Hurts is standing there absorbing every hit, trying to shield a broken system by taking all the blame himself. And the internet is losing it because nobody can decide. Does that make him a great leader or part of the problem? Here's my take. It can be both. You can be a loyal teammate who protects his people and still be enabling dysfunction at the same time. Those two things don't cancel each other out. Jalen Hurts clearly cares about his guys. He doesn't want to embarrass anyone publicly. He's trying to keep the locker room from splitting apart, heading into what's shaping up to be a ruthless offseason. But leadership eventually has to go beyond just taking the blame. Leadership means addressing real issues. It means uncomfortable conversations. It means demanding more from everyone. That includes the coaching staff.
It was about winning, and that's something that we didn't collectively do, and that starts with me. So I take it very personally on that.
That includes the receivers. That includes the front office. And Hurts won't say that. Either he can't or he won't. And that's what's driving fans absolutely crazy right now. Because we all watched A.J. Brown drop that pass. We all saw the sideline argument. We all know the offense was predictable, basic, and easy to defend. And yet, Hurts stood there and said, "It's all on me." No, Jalen, it's not all on you. Some of it? Sure, you're the quarterback. The buck stops with you in certain ways. But all of it? That's not accountability. That's deflection, wrapped in leadership language.
Because they had no business losing this ball game at all. At all. At all. And we gave them grace the entire season because of the talent.
Let's be honest, the Eagles wasted a championship window. Everything was lined up perfectly. Home field, weakened opponent, rest advantage, and they still got embarrassed. 19 points at home in a playoff game with that roster? That's unacceptable. And while Hurts is going viral for his polished, noble-sounding quotes about ownership, the real questions are still sitting there unanswered. Will Kevin Patillo be back? Will A.J. Brown still be on this roster next season? Will the offensive scheme actually change? Will anyone be held accountable?
Critical moments of a ball game, knowing when to go to that trick play, knowing the situation in that it says it fits us best to call it right now, and knowing that your players will execute in that fashion, and also too,
What it looks like, it's about how you learn from it, how you respond from it, and so it's not on any individual. It's on us as a unit, this team this year.
Or will this just turn into another we'll learn and grow offseason and run it back with the same broken pieces? That's what we don't know. That's what Hurts won't tell us. And that's why this moment exploded online. In an era where fans are starving for real talk and real accountability, Hurts gave us corporate-style protection. Everyone got covered, no one got called out. And now people can't decide. Does that make him a hero or part of the problem? The truth is, probably somewhere in the middle. But one thing is guaranteed.
I think winning is hard. Nothing about it is easy, especially when you're trying to repeat. You know, everything was clear for us and what we wanted to accomplish this year, and we came up short.
This offseason in Philadelphia is about to get messy. Changes are coming. They have to come. And when they do, we'll finally find out whether Jalen Hurts' post-game diplomacy was wisdom or weakness. Now I want to hear from you. Drop your take in the comments. Like the video if this breakdown hit home. Subscribe for more deep dives like this. Share it with someone who's arguing about the Eagles right now. And I'll see you on the next one.